Good day, my listeners and followers. It's December 20th, 2020. Wow, December 2020. Uh, it's 7 days, or no, 5 days before Christmas. And I hope you are all doing well. In my adopted country, in the United Kingdom, it's pandemonium. Yesterday, my rival Boris Johnson made an announcement and basically said that he's canceling Christmas. And a lot of people have been upset as a result. I hear the police have actually said that they will stop people from coming out from tier 4. Can you imagine? I am in tier 4. Can a policeman stop me? I know you can't see me, but I'm dressed in my army regalia. Anyway, this is episode 18 of my podcast. I am really happy to introduce you to my next guest. But before I do that, I want to say from the bottom of my heart how pleased I am with the number of downloads. The most recent country that has downloaded my podcast is Taiwan.
Wow.
I can't believe it. And now we have 16 countries that have downloaded If Comedians Rule the World. Out of that 16, 4 are run by a dictator, dictatorship rule, and the others are democratic. So this is good. I want to introduce you to my next guest. His name is Fabio Tedde. And let me tell you, his stage name is Pianist Without Borders. You see, before General COVID stopped me from performing across the United Kingdom, I used to travel a lot in uniform, going back home, not in uniform. After a gig, I would travel from King's Cross to my home. And I saw this young man playing the piano. And it was fascinating because it's Pianist Without Borders, and he plays pianos all over the world. And I was fascinated. And you see, one of the things that happened to me when I was growing up in Nigeria is my father bought me a piano and he wanted to teach me how to play. But I was too playful. I preferred comedy. So I didn't really learn how to play piano. But I appreciate when I see geniuses on piano. And that day, I was walking and I saw him at King's Cross St. Pancras playing the piano. And what was really interesting is we had strangers gather, including myself, next to him. And someone took a photograph. I'm telling you, that photograph won an award because we were all smiling. It didn't matter if we were black, white, yellow, pink, yellow, green. We were all from different races, laughing, having a laugh. It was such, I wish I could show you the photograph. It's not because I'm in it. It was a brilliant photo. So let me give you a little bit of his introduction. Fabio, his artist name is Pianist Without Borders. Italian-born Fabio Tedde was musically inspired from a very young age. You see what I'm saying? Maybe if I had concentrated on what my father told me to do, maybe I would have been the same. His formative years were spent watching and learning from his father, Mario Tedde. You see, I didn't even know all this. A renowned pianist and accomplished composer on the picturesque island of Sardinia. Fabio's appetite and passion for world music fueled his worldwide travels, and he often found himself in faraway lands completely immersed in their musical styles and culture. His travels brought him to London in May 2001. He wasn't deported from Italy. He came because he came to London. Pianist, musician, and composer Fabio has led an active career as a soloist and musician in several bands. Also as a composer of numerous pieces that are influenced by modern classical, easy listening, new age, oriental, romantic, and melodic music. As a pianist of Mimitah Band from Congo, 2009 and 2011 on several occasions, Fabio played at the Double Club. Look, there is a long list of things that this man has done. And I have been following him. Not that I have been stalking him. I have been following him because we're friends on Facebook. And I know he does a lot of activities all over the world. But the bit that has really impressed me is the connections he has made in a number of African countries: South Africa, Burkina Faso, Ghana, Senegal, Mali, Egypt, Uganda, Kenya, Rwanda, Tanzania, and Zanzibar. You will have noticed he has not come to Laughter Republic, but he's been to all these other African countries. But it is fantastic. Look, I could go on because his biography is like you writing a thesis for a PhD. I can't mention it all. He has a lot of achievements, and I will give him the opportunity to plug himself. All you need to know, he's a pianist without borders, and he plays all over the world, and his music is so beautiful. It connects everybody. Doesn't matter what race you are. And I am really honored and very excited to introduce to you Fabio Tedde. Fabio, how are you?
Hello, everybody. I'm very well, thank you. I'm so happy
Good.
to be here today.
Yeah, I have been meaning to get to you for a long time, but I know you travel all over the world. I have
Yes,
to ask you, the first question is this. You have been to so many African countries,
yes,
Senegal, Uganda, Rwanda, Zanzibar.
yes.
You haven't been to my country, Laughter Republic. Why is that? What do we have to do to get you
Because
to my country?
I'm waiting to receive an invitation with when they put the piano there, I will come.
So you will come to, have you been to Wakanda?
Not yet,
Not
but
yet, but you will
even
be.
there, I'm going there also.
Okay, good.
Wherever they have a piano, I'm available.
Yeah, available. Look, so thanks for, yeah, because I know you're a busy man. So thanks for joining my podcast. It's episode 18, and we haven't had any downloads from Italy. So I'm sure after this interview, when I publish it, I'm sure there will be downloads from Italy. Um,
Yes.
I want to start like I always do with my guests. How have you been? How have you been coping with the lockdown? Because you are a musician, you are someone
Yes.
who connects with people, you travel all over. How have you coped? How has it affected you and your industry?
Yeah, for me, it's been a challenge at the beginning, but since I'm always busy doing stuff, I had a lot of stuff to do before the lockdown, and I never had the time. So I found the time during the lockdown, and I'm still
Okay.
working on, like my website. It took me so many months to update all the things I did around the world, and I reached 2015 right now, so I still have 5 more years to update yet.
Wow.
I
So
haven't,
yeah,
I haven't finished yet.
wow, wow, that's really interesting. That's like someone who does a job 9 to 5 and doesn't even know where his utensils are, where his kitchen appliances are, where his forks and knives are. I've heard stories about people saying, "I didn't know my house was in such a state. I need to do some DIY. I need to plaster.
Yeah.
I need to paint." So I hear you. So well done for doing that. Anything else apart from just building your website? Anything else? Has it affected your music in any shape or form? Have
Well, my
you
music, of course, for me, it's like killing me, like not playing for the public. It's like they put me a knife in my chest.
been?
It's very sad because I love to play and share the music, but I was playing. I learned how to record music from home. So I download the program, the music program, and I'm very glad that for this pandemic that finally I found the time to learn this music program. So now I already opened like 50 new projects.
Oh
I just
dear.
finished 15 new tracks, and I still have 35 to finish yet.
Okay. So wow. So you now, and has that meant that you now have new audiences, or is it because what I didn't know is because you travel, so you I saw you at King's Cross and I know you travel all
Yes.
over the world. Do you just like we met, do you then make fans straight away? Do people want to hear from you in terms of your music? How does it work? Because you're like almost like a we can't find you in one particular place because you could one minute you could be in King's Cross, next minute you could be in Italy, next minute you
Yes.
could be in Uganda. How do
Yes.
you how do you cope? How do you manage those what
In
you
fact,
do?
I think for me it's very easy to communicate through music. So once I start playing the piano, I don't know. It's like I have a key, like it open any door. So people that just come talk to me and then they can tell me. It's like I know them like all my life. They can't tell me anything about their life. So after you start playing, you bring that energy, and then you connect to these people. It's magic. and it happened wherever I go.
Okay. So, reading from your biography, do you want to tell us how it all started? How did you start playing the piano? Because I know your father.
Yeah, I started playing piano when I was like, I think I was around 3 or 4 years old, very young. Me, my sister, my brothers, all of us, because my father used to play at home every day. So it just all of us start playing very young age, and I was the only one who continue. Then we all stopped because we didn't like to read or play classical music. So for me, it was boring. So I decided because I'm a free spirit.
Mhm.
I want to be improvising and all the time and be creative. So I want to keep that creativity alive. So I completely stopped. And then when I was 12 years old, I started by myself. When I was listening anything I like on the TV, I go on the piano and then I try to make something from that. And I start to actually my first composition. I was 12 years old.
So you is it, are you saying that okay, you started at the age of 3 and then you had a break? What how many years break did you have?
Long break. I stopped like 5 6 years.
Wow.
Every now and then I used to go on the piano, but not like regularly. But
Okay.
but then after 12 years old, I play nearly every day until I was until I came to London actually, and then
Okay,
I
so
stopped again.
yeah, okay. And so when you stopped the first time
Yeah,
and when you went back playing piano, was it the same music you were playing or was it
no,
different? Different.
you actually there I found my passion because I was doing what I truly love. So I
Mhm.
just play whatever I feel in my heart and it was just coming naturally, and
Wow.
that was I love it.
Okay. And did you have to learn how to play the piano again or you just it was just easy to do?
No, I didn't learn again. I just make my own way and learn by. Of course, I had a few lessons when I was very young, but then I can't read music, and right now I don't read music. I just improvise freestyle.
Wow, wow, that's almost like my comedy. Because one
Yes,
of because one of the things about my comedy is that at times I just improvise.
yes,
I have an idea of what I'm going to say, but there are things that happen on stage and
yes,
I just say it and I just feel it's original, even
yes,
though it's a bit of a risk because when you do improvisation, if it doesn't work, it's a disaster. But when it
yes,
works, it's the most beautiful thing. Most
yes.
beautiful thing. Wow. So you don't read music, but you play the piano. That is fantastic.
Actually, it's not very easy to improvise like freestyle completely out of the blue, but it took me like nearly 7 years to get to that point where I can improvise all day with no problem.
Okay.
And
So
but
when you
when I reached
saying
that point, I was flying.
so when I saw you at King's Cross, which was
Yes,
probably about 3, 4 years ago, and you were playing that
yes.
music, was that were you did you wake up that morning saying, "Oh, I want to play this music," or you just went there and just decided, "Okay, this
I
is what I'm going to play"?
I just make on the spot whatever I feel,
Wow,
and it
wow,
depends the people I meet. If you make me happy or sad, I just play on that mood.
oh wow, and if I heard you correctly, you said you stopped the second time.
Yes,
What made you stop the second time?
it's very funny way why I stopped. Actually, I haven't stopped playing music. I started playing different instruments when I
Hmm.
came to London
Hmm.
because I wanted when I was in Italy. I didn't speak English before, so
Okay.
I went to cut my hair, and it's very funny the way how I came to London
Yeah.
because I was waiting for my turn,
Hmm.
and then I was reading a newspaper and they say you scratch and win, and I won a trip. I say, oh, I want a trip to Egypt. I'm going to Egypt. So I asked the owner of the shop. I say, can I take this ticket? I want a trip, and he told me, you take this fake. Is not true. I say, okay, you give me the address. I'll send you a postcard from Egypt. So that's what I did. But the last day when I was at the airport, me and my friend, we couldn't speak any English, and we want to eat food, and then we didn't know how to communicate. But then there was a guy, Italian guy, behind me, and he told me that you tell me what you want, and I will tell them in English. I said, my God, this guy is so clever. So at that point, I said I need to learn English because I love traveling. Where can I go? I'm going to London. So I went back to Italy. I left my job. I used to work in the garden with my grandfather. I used to make wine. I used to have animals, driving tractors.
Mm.
And then I stopped completely. I said to my father, my family, I'm going to London. They said, you are mad. So when I came to London, I was a pizza chef. And then 2 weeks after working, I took the bus on the wrong direction and ended up in Trafalgar Square. Then I walked to Leicester Square. It was a Friday night at 1 a.m. And I see these people playing drums on the street. And I said, wow, this is what I want to do. That's what I love it. So the next day I went back there, I bought a drum and I started playing with these people every single night for 7 months, only percussion. I completely stopped playing pianos. So then I went to West Africa many times. I learned many African instruments. And then from that, I played for 7 years, only percussions. So I completely stopped playing piano for until 2007.
Wow. Wow. I'm going to be asking you lots of questions because your story is just so interesting. It's just a wide variety. So not only do you play the piano, you play other instruments as
Yes.
well, which is great.
Yeah.
What, why travel all over the place? So you have your own, because this is the other thing I never thought about it. Actually, that piano that I saw at St. Pancras is
Yes.
not your piano, is it?
It's not mine.
Yeah. Okay. So you just you just went on it and you just,
Yes.
but you have a piano of your own.
I have a piano here in the kitchen, and then I have
Okay.
a grand piano in Italy. My father has a grand piano, so I can use
Okay.
it. I also have a piano in Uganda. I took a
Okay.
piano in Uganda, a
Yeah.
real
Yeah.
piano on the plane.
Yeah. So I see, and what I like about those pianos that I've seen on your website and your on Facebook is they're so beautifully crafted.
Yes.
I- do you do you get them to make them that way, or it's
No,
just
actually, it's not me painting them. It's the organization who in the city who put the pianos. They
okay?
they found like artists, local artists mostly, and then they paint the pianos. Then they put on the street. Then like in New York, every year they donate 50 pianos to communities, to schools after the installation.
Okay.
So me, I'm connected with all these people around the world, so I know more or less where they put pianos. So I just follow them around the world.
Wow. Wow. So I know I've mentioned countries that you've been to. Are there countries that you would like to be playing the piano that you haven't
Actually,
had?
since I call myself Pianist Without Border, for me, I can go anywhere in the world. The world is my house for me, so I feel comfortable to be anywhere.
Okay. I am interested in the work that you do in Africa. How did that begin? What made you think of
Well,
Africa?
since I'm a young age, I always like to help wherever I can and to empower people to be the voice of the voiceless.
Mhm.
So when I went to Uganda in 2016, I took the piano there. I raised like nearly 5,000 pounds with my friends. And then actually in the meantime, I found two journalists, which they follow me in Uganda. They came with me. And then we bought the piano here. My friend, she painted the piano. We took the piano. So we went to many orphanages. And then we did many concerts in a deaf school and in youth in the village, and many places. But the last week I was in Uganda, I met this lady which she was supporting this family with a woman with four kids with albinism. And she told me, I want you to meet this lady because she's in a very bad position right now because the husband tried to sell the children. So she took me there, and he actually tried to kidnap his kids
Wow.
many times. So when I met this woman, then I met another lady with albinism, which is her name is Doreen, which she's the leader in Uganda. She's in contact with all the communities there. So I start knowing more, learn more about them, and then at one point, since for them they are different than the people they look them differently, and they think they believe in witchcraft some place, so that it's very dangerous for them even to go out at night alone.
Yeah.
So I say, what can I do for these people? I want to help them somehow. Then I had a friend from USA, which she based in the UK. She's been traveling more than 20 years around the world, doing workshops for women and children around the world, empower women. So I said, let me connect the dots here. So I asked my friend in Uganda, do you mind if I bring my friend from USA? She's going to teach you how to make soap, like natural soap. And they say, of course, yes, anything. And then we went there, we raised again money for the tour, we buy all the materials, we did the workshops, first workshops. This was like less than 2 years ago. Right now we have already a group of 30 women and children, and they're already selling soap and products all over the world already. So
Wow.
we are very happy. We are actually about to buy a land soon for them.
Wow. You know what's really interesting is, as you know, I am a comedy dictator. And
Yes.
when I started 11 years ago performing comedy, a lot of people said I reminded them of Idi Amin Dada, who was a president in Uganda, a dictator in Uganda. And it's just really interesting how, when I read your profile, especially the things that you do for Africa in terms of your humanitarian projects that you started originally from Uganda, and then you've done work in Rwanda and all these other places. Is that,
Yes.
yeah?
Yes, I did. I did last year. We did. Actually, I went 2 times in Rwanda to play in a school with autistic children.
Yeah.
It's
Okay.
called Autism Rwanda, and I met the founder of the school on the plane. We were sitting on the same plane,
Mhm.
and she just told me, "I would like you to come to Rwanda." And then 2 months later, I was there.
Wow,
Yeah,
wow. And
playing for the children.
it's just really amazing how you're able to connect with people, but not only just connect, it leads to something of value that has an impact
Yes,
on people's
yes,
lives. I
yes.
want to ask you, because I find it quite odd. So you took this piano onto the plane,
Yes.
and
Well, it was like a pallet with 300 kilograms.
and they let you, actually, when you think about it, that's how they have to take planes from one country
Well,
to the other.
we found a company in Itro which they deliver stuff, so we paid the company. It
Mhm.
was very expensive, nearly £2,000 we paid for to
Wow.
deliver the piano, and then 12 boxes of toys and sun and water filter for the kids, a lot
Mhm.
of stuff for the children.
Wow. What in
Yeah.
terms of, so you've had you in terms of all these African countries, so what would you say has been the impact on those communities? So for example, you raise funds for them. Do you have children who want to be like you, who play the piano like you?
Yes, especially I remember when I went to the deaf school, there was a boy, which was incredible. That he just sat on the piano, and I just showed him one thing, and he just started playing. And then he came on the drum, and he played the drum very well. Straight away, it was like he had like this natural gift. And then when we left the school, he was about to cry, and I said, "Oh my God!" He said, "Don't take the piano away, please."
Oh, oh,
Yeah, now they closed the school because of the pandemic. But every time I go to Uganda, I always visit them. They
mhm,
always remember me. There's
mhm.
110 kids, all deaf children.
Wow, wow, wow. This
That
is
was one
just
of the places.
this is the most moving podcast episode I am going to have, because I feel immensely touched by. I've always enjoyed music. Um, you see, there were so many things when I was young I wanted to do. I wanted to be a singer. I wanted to play the piano. I wanted to be a comedian. So I can see how the impact of your music connects you with several other people.
Yeah.
What the title for this podcast is called "If Comedians Rule the World,"
Yes.
and uh, I obviously wanted you to come and talk about your career and your achievements, but also I'm interested to see, what do you think music can do, because in terms of politics, because at the moment, as you know, the whole world is divided,
Yes. Very, very.
but it's just there is no unity anywhere. It doesn't matter if you're in Italy, if you're in Nigeria, if you're in Britain. The world countries have split themselves into two. That you're either on the left or on the right. There are so many. One of the reasons why I created Laughter Republic is because I was disillusioned about my country, Nigeria, and I wanted to create my own utopia, my own happiness. And
Yes,
I really do mean it, Fabio. We have to arrange for you to come to Laughter Republic and play. I will get a piano
I
and,
will come.
and play.
Yeah, please.
But on a serious note, what would, if you were the leader of Italy or the leader of Uganda or the leader of the free world, let us say you were the Italian prime minister,
Yes.
yeah, not
Mm,
not Berlusconi,
mm.
what would you do differently, and how do you think music can help reconnect people? Because I think people are just so disconnected. They have no
Yes.
empathy, no feelings towards human beings. Politics is all about, uh, for them rather than for
Power.
us. Yes,
Yes.
power.
Power
Over
and
to you.
money.
Over to you, my friend.
So for me, what I think, if I had the power, the possibility to do to change something, the first thing I would do in this planet, I will remove all the army factory, the war factory, like the plane, for all this fabric they made for war, like planes and ships with bombs. I would destroy all of them, and then I invest all that money in education, in schools and art. Actually, I would do love to see in every corner, every road, an art department, a creativity department for the community, for each community, where people can go there and express themselves freely. Yeah,
Wow. Wow.
I don't really like this politics. Every country is the same problem.
Yeah.
So we need a great change. And also on the meeting room, I will advise everybody to stop talking and just remove the table and put a piano there and just listen. Yes.
I can see you already having an impact on me, because every Monday I meet with my cabinet ministers and we have discussions about Laughter Republic and our relations, but we don't have a piano
Yeah.
in the cabinet meeting. Maybe that is what Boris Johnson and his people need. They listen to the music first before they make decisions about the pandemic. But that is really powerful, because it's really interesting when you look at the defense budgets for a lot of countries.
Yes.
They spend more money on defense and trying to
Yes.
go to Mars and trying to go to Jupiter, wherever they're going to. They spend more money. They all of a sudden they can find money
Yes.
to buy military arms, but
If
they
you,
neglect the poor people.
yes, if you look at whenever there's a war or any issue, the government, they never run out of budget for that. They
Yeah.
always limit the budget. But for anything else, you need to open millions of charity for this, for that, for that.
Mhm,
It should be exactly the opposite.
mhm,
Just have one charity. Let the people choose if they want to support war.
mhm, mhm,
So they sponsor by the people. That the other ones, the government should sponsor all the rest.
mhm.
It should be the opposite.
I see you. I see you as a very caring person. You care for your fellow human beings.
Yes.
Why are you talking to a dictator?
Because you are a real dictator. You are not those dictator you see on TV. You're a completely different dictator without a gun. You're not killing anybody. You just make fun, make people happy. So I wish every dictator was like you.
Yes, you wish every dictator. It's really interesting, because the I did a show called uh, I'm trying to remember, Goodbye, Mr. President, and I did
Mhm.
it somewhere in Kentish Town, and there were two Italian people who came, a man and a woman, and the man basically said that he he has never liked a dictator, but he likes me. He doesn't know why, but he just loves. He does love. I've never ever liked. I will send you the video. It was so funny. Very short clip, and he was like, he felt like he was wrestling with the fact that, wow, I just seen this dictator and I like him. I don't know why. I don't. I shouldn't. I shouldn't like a dictator.
I love the video of you when you went to Oxos Circus with your bodyguard.
Oh yes.
Buy stuff and he said, "Give me the money." He has the money. We don't accept this money. That's so funny.
Yes, I need to do more of that. It's
Yes.
amazing how the pandemic has really affected us in a way. So what are your plans apart from defense and in term, part of reducing defense budget
Yes,
and having music being played at cabinet meetings? Is there anything else you would change about the world?
yes. And another plan I would do if you have the power, I would open the all borders. So I just have either no passport at all or just one passport, same for everybody. So we are more equal, like citizens of the world. Actually, there is a Frenchman about 50 or 60 years ago. I was reading on Wikipedia. He invented his own passport, which he was traveling all over the world with these citizens of the world, and then they arrest him over 50 times in each
Yeah.
country. Go, they said this person we can't enter.
And I think that's you are absolutely right because I think that's also what causes division, you
Yes,
know.
yes,
But the politicians will say to you that, oh, as you know, with what happened in Brexit was about immigration, controlling the borders. We need to
yeah,
shut down the borders. Politicians will say to you that they won't agree with you saying
of
without
course,
borders that everybody should
yes,
just have one passport
yes,
because as far as I'm concerned it won't work because people are selfish.
yes,
Look at for example the vaccines. For example, now all these Western countries have
mm,
already got vaccines, but no
yes,
one is talking about African countries. No one is talking about these poor countries. How are they going to get the vaccines? You know what I'm saying? But
yes.
yeah, it's
But
it's
eventually, I think in the future, maybe in the next 2, 3, or 4 generation, it will come that like that.
yes, yes.
It has to come like we can't ignore it. We can't carry on like this. Is ridiculous.
So you reckon in maybe not in our lifetime, but maybe in the next lifetime, we will
Yeah,
have no passports,
yeah.
citizens of the
Maybe
world.
they will all come together. All countries they come together, work together for one goal. All
Mm,
together,
mm,
equality.
mm, mm.
Yeah, united we stand.
United we stand. So, what are your plans for the future? Where is Pianist Without Borders? Apart from coming to Laughter Republic to play music for us, what are your plans? You there?
Well, right now for the next, I think for the next. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, like hundreds of videos, which I did like a few weeks ago in Uganda and the border of Sudan and Congo.
Yeah.
We interviewed so many people with a group of artists, and
Mm.
then now I've then I will start again recording and finish my other project, my countless projects, endless.
Please, you know what? I think the MFI and FBI are listening to our conversation because the
I hope
internet,
so.
the internet froze. So can you just repeat what you said? The internet froze.
Oh,
Yeah, you
oh,
were.
you didn't hear me.
I didn't hear the bit about the number of videos.
Hey, okay. I say I'm going to edit about a few hundreds of videos for the
Okay,
next few months. It's a lot of work, so that is my priority
okay.
for now. And then as soon as I finish that, I continue with my project with the music and other things.
Do you think one day that I could see you play in a theater and I'm sitting in front with all my wives? You playing in the Royal Opera House. Is that your goal, or will you rather not do that?
For me, the Royal Opera House is on the street. I love
Mm.
to be the. I never found a better stage than the street. I
Okay,
play many times in big venues in
it's
hotels,
not the same.
but there is something missing there. Always
Mhm,
there is some like the connection, the direct connection and spontaneous moment you have with the public
mhm,
is in the street is so natural and unique, and that there is something missing on stage, on a real stage.
mhm.
So for me, the real stage is the street. I love
Okay.
that.
What about, are you planning to release an album or not?
But actually, I already released like 3 albums, and I'm working on another one now.
Okay.
So actually every 2 3 days I release a new video music. I have more than 200 videos already on my YouTube, and
Okay.
I keep recording and just sharing whatever I have. I release.
Okay. And also, um, so you're releasing albums and that is great. Um, yeah, I think, yeah, you've answered all the questions. You've answered all the questions I had for you.
You run out of questions.
No, not that I ran out of questions. I'm just cautious. I am just cautious of the fact that you're a busy man. Yes, this is the question I wanted to ask you.
Yes.
Because you said that you left Italy and your parents said, or your family said, you're mad.
Yes.
Do they still think you're mad?
No, now they give up. Because my father always want me to find a permanent job. You do this, you do that. I mean, I always refuse. I say no. I'm going to do what I love.
Yeah.
If you work, I will do that for the rest of my life. If it doesn't, I will look for plan B.
And I think that is not many people are doing what they love. A lot of people are trapped doing what they don't love, and they end up living unhappy lives. So I admire the fact that you are doing what you love, and for me, I think it makes you happy as a person, and you're connecting with lots of people, and you have to keep up the good work. What I hope you will do, and we have to find a way, even though my country is a fictional country and I'm a fictional president, we have to find a way where you are playing a piano on the streets of the state capital, Baghdad, in Laughter Republic. We have to find a way, because if you've been to Rwanda and all these other places, there is no excuse for you not to be at Laughter Republic.
No, there's no excuse. I'm available. I'm ready.
Yeah. So we will have to find a way. We will find a way, even if I have to invade King's Cross, St. Pancras, and rename it Laughter Republic. We will find a way.
Yes, we must.
Fabio, it has been such an interesting and wonderful interview for a number of reasons. One, the achievements, the impact that you have on people's lives is just, don't take it. I know you wouldn't take it for granted, because I see my comedy almost like music as well. The impact I have on people, I never ever take it for granted. So keep up the good work, and that's it. I'm going to release you because I am the dictator, and I can decide when I finish the show. And I told you we were going to do 45 minutes. So thank you so much, Fabio, for joining me. I've always wanted to do this. And you are the second musician that I have interviewed. Because there was someone else, a jazz soul singer called Ola Onobule. And it was such a wonderful interview. And this has also been a wonderful interview. My listeners, you must follow Fabio Tedde. He is a great pianist. His stage name is Pianist Without Borders. He wants me to start playing music before my cabinet meetings so that, we are in tune and we have the atmosphere before we make any decisions. You can where can people find you? Do you want to plug your...
Well, they can find me on YouTube, on Instagram. I've actually have 5 accounts on Instagram, but if they type Pianist Without Borders, they find me everywhere. On my website, I'm all over the place.
And he's a pianist who has decided that if he was going to run the world, there will be no borders. I wish him luck, because in this period of COVID, I don't want someone who has COVID coming into Laughter Republic. They are banned from coming into my country. Fabio, thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Bye-bye. Thank you. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.
So thank you, guys. And I will be in touch with you soon. Thank you so much. Thank you.